Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store. And around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Well, it is a late start for the Mike O'Mara Show, everyone, but we are starting late because we have a special celebrity guest that's come a very long way to join us. We're going to introduce him shortly, but before we do this, we are going to do that. Or before we do that, we're going to do this.
I liked it the first way.
We're actually going to bring in from Beijing, China, once again with another travelogue report, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Oscar Santana in Red China. Hello there, Oscar.
Ni hao. Hello, gentlemen.
How are
great
you?
to be here.
Oscar.
I'm great.
I have checked in with your Facebook posts, and we've seen you from the Great Wall. We've seen you from the Forbidden City. We have seen you in Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, he was at the square.
And we've seen you photograph your pineapple pie at McDonald's. And we've also heard occasional texts from you as well. So how are things going? Day number 5 or 4 of your Chinese Odyssey.
Well, as you know, I'm calling you from the future. We're 12 hours ahead, so really it's day number 5. It's 4 for you. I'll give you guys dealer's choice. I know we have limited time in the celebrity guest in studio. Do you want to hear about the Great Wall, Tiananmen Square, the Sex Club, the exotic meat market, the
Sex
subway,
Club,
the
Sex
silk
Club.
market?
Sex Club. And really quick,
Right.
Oscar, since you're calling from the future, are you hungover yet?
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm just starting to drink.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. All right. So is it midnight in China?
Right now it's 12:11 a.m.
12:11 a.m. And are you? You said that Todd is at the bar downstairs.
Bar.
He just walked in. It closes at 11. Somehow we get him to keep it open until 12. They have some strict laws around here, apparently.
His
do
new
they
nickname,
really?
Mike. His new nickname, Todd More Vodka.
The question I have to ask you, Oscar, is when we checked in with you last, it was about 11 o'clock Chinese time, and you were getting ready to venture out, and I expressed frustration about that because it seemed to me that was not the best move on your first night in Beijing to head out and to, into the nighttime skies of China with the laws and all that. Did that work out okay for you?
Didn't work at all. We actually walked outside, and it was a dead town after midnight. Unless you're in certain bar districts, everything's closed. So it wasn't worth it. We walked about 10 meters. You have to learn the scientific method here. And then they don't deal with what we deal with back home, where America and the way it should be, with miles and blocks.
Can you approximate 10 meters in the English system for me?
I have no idea. I just know it's forever.
So you realize that's only about 30 feet.
10 yards. Yeah.
No one cares.
No one
Spiewak,
cares.
let me
That's
tell
right.
you.
That's true. Nobody does care.
So I'll tell you about the sex club just briefly. We finally end up going out on a night that we're not jet-lagged, and when you walk through the streets of Beijing, there's different districts, and one of the greatest bar districts is the one near all the embassies, so you have kind of an international crowd. So we went out there, and then we got kind of, people harangue you into different bars, saw different bars, karaoke, sideshows, little people, all kinds of things. You just find different things here in Beijing.
See, that would strike me as very Western, that you'd get that in kind of the westernized Asian countries,
Carnival.
Yeah.
not in communist China. I'm surprised at that.
This city's, for what it's worth, is pretty progressive outside the actual Forbidden City. So, when we initially talked, we hadn't seen much of Beijing in general or China, so we've been able to explore.
All right, well, tell me about the sex club, and then I want to ask you a million questions.
Okay, so we end up getting kind of harangued to a different bar. It was called Bar Absolute, and I'll give the name for anybody that's really interested in these type of things.
Thank you.
We thought it was a club. We walk in, and at first we see a group of a bunch of girls. We're like, oh, this is perfect for Todd, single guy. He'll definitely meet a girl. But we start seeing them shimmy, much like if anybody's ever been around a farm, you see a flock of hen going from one end of the pen to the other, left and right, left and right.
He is hammered.
This is a group of women?
There's a group of women. But
Mike, they're performing like a group of hen.
You'll understand
as opposed to hens?
Well, I don't have time for this BS right now. I'm trying to get through this.
Okay, very good. Go ahead. Go ahead. So they're a group of, are they young, attractive women?
They are they are. It's the dimly lit room, but they are.
We've already established you're not into Asian chicks.
No, I'm not into Asian chicks at all.
Right,
Not my thing. So we realized within 5 minutes after we arrived, when the young lady comes to us that's serving us, she said, you could pick any of these girls you'd like. And I said, well, that's interesting. I don't understand what you're saying. So basically, the hens that were traveling from one room to another to the other room, to the other side of the room, and to the other side of the room were being It was like The Bachelor, and Todd put it best. It was like The Bachelor every 10 minutes. You get to pick which girl you want to do whatever you want to do with for about, let's say, $15, and you're about done. And they run from room to room to room trying to get whoever's there to pay for their time.
Wait a minute. So you're in these rooms? Is it a bar scene or is it like a hotel?
Think of Omer's, but in Beijing, and just a bunch of women running to the end of Omer's, to the front of Omer's, to the back of Omer's, back and forth.
And then if they would grab you, was there like a secret place that you would go to do whatever you wanted to do?
Or did you just visit her secret place?
Didn't get that far. All I know is that once we heard that was going on there, we weren't comfortable, and we left. But it was interesting to see what was happening because for, again, about $15, she said, you do what you want. And I was like, oh, this doesn't seem right. And how many of those it doesn't?
And I would imagine that there's probably the place is probably rampant with disease if that was if that was the case.
And besides, the portions were so small.
Oh, God, that's terrible, Rob. So you got out of there. But it was a legitimate. See, I would think that type of thing would be unheard of over there.
No, it's heard of and it's everywhere because when we told people about it, they just didn't. They weren't fazed about it. We were actually shocked because it's culture shock for us. And another thing about that bar overall, it's like you didn't see a champagne room. There wasn't like a seedy strip club where you would get lap dances. I don't know where they took these guys, but every time the bachelor or bachelorette would go down in front of your eyes, in about 5 minutes, the guy would pick one of the 20 girls.
And what would happen after that? Where would they go?
Yeah.
You'd have a couple drinks, pretending like they were friends, and then they would walk away. We never knew where they went.
But they'd walk out of the actual bar?
They walk into another door, but it wasn't. I didn't feel like they were walking into some sort of special room. They looked like they were walking into a hotel or motel or something like that.
Was it scary at all? Was it kind of scary so you didn't want to, you didn't want to maybe go through that door not knowing what would be on the other side,
The club was called Club Absolute.
Yeah.
So
keep saying that, yes.
That means that you'll be absolutely murdered if you go into the other room.
That's scary.
Are you repeating it so that Mark will try to call them and get a schedule? I mean, what's with the continued mentions?
No, the sign looks like an Absolute bottle, so you think it's just another bar.
Right.
That is amazing. And you didn't stay long. And any other cool experiences as far as nightlife that you've had over in Beijing?
They have some great clubs. We finally found the right ones. We ended up running into some guys that work here from Spain, and we just ran into them because we were looking for somewhere else to go. Mm-hmm. They showed us a great club, which is I think the club is probably more like a New York club or downtown DC club, where it's just a lounge, a lot of locals, but also a lot of Russians. So that was a great experience overall. Drinks are comparable because they're just in expensive areas. The cost of living here, depending on how you live, can be either high or low. That's a definite.
And have you have you met many metrosexuals like yourself that are over there in Beijing?
No. I wish I knew Mandarin, or Todd did as well. People are nice if they understand you. If they speak English, they're nice. But if they don't, I mean, they might also just spit in your face and walk away
because you have absolutely no way of communicating.
Right. No, I mean, we point at things, we gesture. It's
idiots abroad.
The language there is horrible.
Where's the Mac store?
Oscar, what might help, and I've found this when I've been in Europe, if you have a language issue, just speak louder.
To repeat what Oscar just said, the language here is horrible. Not English.
So how was the Great Wall?
The Great Wall was freezing. It was a great experience, no pun intended. It really is one of it's. If you've ever been to the pyramids, just imagine the building of a pyramids on top of a mountain. It's pretty amazing.
And have you had any kind of moment with authorities at all? Have you ever felt like you guys mentioned in a couple of your posts that you were feeling like there were cameras on you all the time?
Brush with the law.
Have you had any? Have you ever noticed anybody following you, or I would imagine that getting on an American radio show and talking about sex clubs, they might not be really happy about that.
Yeah, well, it's good to know that my name is Mike O'Mara from the Mike O'Mara Show. If you're listening now.
Sure. And when do you get out of Dodge? When are you leaving Beijing to go to Hong Kong?
Tomorrow morning we leave at 10:30 in the morning, so I'll be in Hong Kong, hopefully where most people speak English, and we'll be in a new place. So it was a great experience, but we're ready to bounce.
And how long is the flight from Beijing to Hong Kong?
3 hours.
3 hours. Okay, so that's not
so.
A big deal.
To repeat when he's leaving tomorrow morning.
What's been your beverage of choice over there?
Red Bull and vodkas.
That's why you're up all energetic at midnight. Any other questions for our boy Oscar, boys? You seem to be all dried up.
How are the bathrooms there? Are they noticeably different? How are they set up? Are they like American bathrooms? Do they have like high-tech showers or anything?
The most high-tech thing we've been on is kind of the subway, and also, if you think about it, Tiananmen Square, where Tiananmen Square has these 70-foot like LCD televisions on either side. So imagine the National Mall with two 70-foot LCDs.
And is there
you.
constant propaganda playing on that about the government?
You're absolutely right.
Wow.
And how's the food been? I know you're not a food guy, but what are you eating besides pineapple pie?
We actually went to an authentic Chinese restaurant today.
Over there, they just call it a restaurant, though.
Yes.
Yes, we had kung pao chicken, one spice.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
What does that even mean?
Kung pao
Not
chicken.
too spicy.
Yeah, mildly spicy.
Is that what it is? Not too spicy?
Yeah, one spice. It probably goes up to 3 or 4 spices.
One chili pepper as opposed to 4.
Is
You know what?
Is that true? Well, let's answer it. Is that true, Oscar? Is that what it means?
Absolutely, the Jew is right.
Yeah. I know my Chinese food.
And you know what? You picked a really great time of year to go over there and eat poultry. You idiot.
Are you getting any sense of the bird flu outbreak over in China? Is there any talk of that whatsoever on the street? Do you see people wearing masks? Is there any evidence that people might be mildly freaked out about the bird flu?
It's all over the news. I think they're used to it, and since we're in a touristy area, they probably don't want to talk about it, but we're aware of it.
And are you a curiosity for the people? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of travel. It's not like you're the first Westerner that's gone to China, but do you feel that people are curious about you? Do they stare? Do they look at you? Is there any fascination with being an American in Beijing?
I look Asian, so they don't care about me.
Yeah, you look like
but
Kim
they
Jong-un.
love Todd.
Yeah, you look like his daddy, Kim Jong-il. We've established that before, so that's true.
Todd is a superstar. People take pictures of them everywhere.
Well, because of his freakish height.
Because you're a curiosity in this studio as well, so we're always doing that. So obviously, you guys are going to roar a little bit. Well, you're in for the night then, right?
That's it. Yeah, we got to go to the airport in the morning.
You and Todd are going to cuddle up and have another blissful night of sleep, and then I think really the fun really begins when you get to Hong Kong. Are you excited about that part of the trip?
I'm excited just to be somewhere that's a little more familiar, hopefully, and but it's a lot more work. The conference starts when we get there, so it'll be busier than it is now. Not so much sightseeing, but a little more work.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be fun. Do you have a question, Mark?
Yeah, speaking of familiar, we saw a picture of you guys at McDonald's. I'm curious how it compares to the McDonald's here in the United States.
Or the one in Orlando.
That's a great question. You guys know I love McDonald's. The McDonald's in Beijing, the fries are soggy. And the double cheeseburgers, the meat tastes different. You can taste the difference.
Yeah, that's the bird flu.
Yeah,
that is the bird flu all over.
Something's in my burger. That's very scary.
Bird.
Oscar,
it's pollution.
I love the connection. I love the fact that you're speaking to us from the future in Beijing, China. And how's Todd doing? Is Todd enjoying himself?
He's good. He's in bed right now on Facebook, I think. He's on his computer. I'm staring at him as we speak.
When he got into bed, did he look at you and pat his hand on the mattress?
No. We have 2 separate beds there.
He makes a rubbing circular motion on the mattress.
You guys rock. This is so cool that you've been Skyping. Have a safe flight into Hong Kong.
Have
and
fun.
We'll check in with you Thursday at the beginning of the show to see how you're doing in Beijing, okay? I mean, in Hong Kong.
Guys. Stay safe.
Okay,
right.
and
Bye-bye, dear.
bye-bye, meow, or whatever they
Meow.
Meow.
I think it's Nihao, isn't it?
Shay, have a safe trip. Thanks, Oscar.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. There he
Take
goes.
care.
All right, and how do we kill that?
He killed it.
He killed it. He'll be dead in a week.
So we're done. All right. Well, we will take a break and then introduce our special guest on the program when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Of course, Flintstone. You look just like him. Now, let's get on with the big meeting.
Wait a minute. I don't know anything about conducting a business meeting.
You don't have to know anything. All you gotta say is, whose baby is that? What's your angle? And I'll buy that.
Whose baby is that? What's your angle? I'll buy that.
That's it. Great.
Oh, J.L. couldn't do better himself. Let's go.
Whose baby is that? What's your angle? I'll buy that. Whose baby is that? What's your angle? I'll buy that. Hey, I can't take much more of this. Did you find Got Rocks yet?
Not yet. But we'll have him back soon.
What's your buy? Whose angle is that? I'll buy that, baby. Who's your baby? Bibi. I'll angle that five. I'm through. I'm going back to the peace and quiet of the gravel pits.
Oh, no, Flintstone, you can't let us down.
Look, I went to that meeting to save widows and orphans, but I'm not making a career of this. I'm through, I tell you.
Oh, my gosh, there goes my cinchy job.
What do we do, FM?
We gotta keep him here, that's what.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from Studio 1K in the Pfeifferplex Broadcast Center. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Also, 102.9 FM WTNT in Washington, D.C. and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Tuesday. I'm sorry, yes, it is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Don't be
Feels
sorry.
like it's Friday. Tuesday, April 9th, 2013, and we are delighted to be brought to you by Encore Insurance Services, LLC, the people who bring you this show every weeknight on 102.9 FM WTNT. Oscar Santana had a great experience with Encore. If he dies in China,
Mike, when?
his family will get a wonderful payout.
When he dies.
For a free life insurance quote, visit smartterm.com or call 866-347-5748. They'll do all the work for you. Encore will compare rates to help you save. Licensing and disclaimer info at smartterm.com. Let them know you appreciate them as much as we do. Encore Insurance Services. And now, ladies and gentlemen, play that special music for
yes. You
our
ready?
celebrity guest,
Play 'em
ladies and
in.
gentlemen. All the way from the 98 Rock Morning Show in Baltimore. It's Mickey, Amelia, and their newsman who's with us today, Spiegel, joining us from 98 Rock, and I think we've had Amelia here
Yes.
in studio. I don't know if Mickey's ever made it down.
No, but we've shared a stage with him.
But
Yes.
Mickey traveled to Reno, and now
Right.
Spiegel, you have finally completed the trifecta. You have joined us in studio in the Living Room Studios.
Thank you for having me, for inviting me. I enjoyed the 3-hour trip down here.
For sure.
If I had known it would take that long, I wouldn't have accepted your invitation.
We knew that.
And I didn't know if you were going to come to me now or make me wait another 30 minutes. Now that you've spoken to China, maybe you want to speak to Iran before you get to me.
It's wonderful to have you here. I always have enjoyed your work, and
Thank you.
You have
Likewise.
Yes, you have always said that. You have said that to me.
Yes.
I do. There's something very strange and wonderful about the way you deliver the news on
Thank you.
the Mickey, Amelia, and Spiegel show. And you guys have been at it a long time up there, unlike some of us who have been kicked to the curb by radio in the years past.
Yes.
You know, you've been up there with a hell of a run. How long have you been up there doing that show?
Well, with Mickey and Amelia, I've been doing it, let's see here, since 2006. And before then, I was with Kirk and Mark for about
that's
a
right.
year and a half.
And before that, you were with Oscar Santana?
Right, for 6 months.
That's right.
Six,
Are you pleased that
six
he's
blissful months, right?
6 months,
Are you
yes.
pleased that he's in China at this very moment?
I am. I'm a little concerned about it. I mean, China is not a very nice place.
No, it's not. And,
to hear him say it, it's great.
Shotties live there.
I think he's going to be lucky. I think he's going to be lucky to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I truly, truly do. But you guys have been so nice to me up there at 98 Rock, promoting my ride every year, letting me come up and sit in, and I always enjoyed it. Just your show is the one show when I guest host on that show, I swear to God, I want to get back into doing it. Even early in the morning, I want to come up there and do a morning show because you guys have a lot of fun. And you have the same kind of tension we have on this show. Because the bottom line is the three of you always want to kill each other. You know, that's it.
Occasionally.
And I like the way Mickey's a little afraid of you because you're a sensitive lad, and I know you're a sensitive lad. And I like when Mickey will go down a certain road
Go too far.
that he will look at you and there'll be just a little terror in his eyes. So it's like you've got him disciplined a little bit.
He's convinced I'm going to go on a spree.
Yes, a killing spree.
Yeah.
Like kill everybody, and it would start in the studio.
That's right.
It might start there. I mean, I don't want to give away my plans.
That's right.
Probably start on a roof.
He has plans.
Not that you've thought it through.
Right.
But you've listened to incarnations of my show for a long time, and you said that to me when I first went up there, right?
Said what?
You said that you used to listen to me.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
He just doesn't anymore.
Thank you.
Yes,
Neither do I.
I listened to when I was a kid. I listened to you on WAVA.
That's right, WAVA back in the day.
I grew up, and I even sent you a letter when I was trying to find the letter you sent back. I still have a letter.
Oh. That's right. That's what I remember. It was like when you were
I
a kid.
guarantee you, Mike had nothing to do with that letter.
No, it looked
That
like
was
it
a producer wrote that letter. As sure as
It
I'm
looked
born.
like it was personal. It was typed on a little piece of paper. And it
Was it
said,
signed?
Stay, good luck. Stay in getting into radio and eat your vegetables. I was 10 years old.
Signed John Nolan.
He was a little. That also dates me a little bit.
Yeah, a
Makes
little
me
bit.
realize just how. Well, so how are things up on Television Hill? Everything going well over in the great city? It was a big year for you guys with the Super Bowl and all.
Oh yes, we went to New Orleans.
Yes.
Oh, that's
The
nice.
whole gang went down for the Super Bowl, right?
did.
For the
You like
Baltimore
New
Ravens.
New Orleans is very interesting.
Yes.
It's I loved Bourbon Street. Got totally wasted.
Right.
No, I did not get wasted.
No, he
I
doesn't
don't
get
drink.
wasted. No, he doesn't. Do that.
But it's interesting, the street performers and
Yeah.
such. As far as I didn't actually go to the game. No,
Of course you did.
No, we never do.
And
either,
mostly you
right.
stayed in the suburbs of
Uh,
New
we
Orleans, or did
stayed
you go
ac-
into the city?
we stayed across a bridge,
Right.
in a La Quinta Inn.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it was near a murder scene, a famous murder scene where several people were shot on a bridge during the hurricane.
All the motels are.
It's such a pecking order, the Super Bowl and media.
Yeah.
And, if you are, if you're part of the network family, you get to do it. But the fact that these guys are the highly rated morning show in Baltimore that everybody
They're a big
listens
deal.
to up there, they don't treat radio people well.
No.
So it doesn't surprise me you got the La Quinta in.
Can
Remember,
you
we
imagine?
we had that dance every year that we'd
Oh,
have to, we
it
go
was
further
horrible.
and further away.
And also, the NFL would require you to book 5 nights, even
Right.
though we only had to stay 2.
Right.
So it cost us much more than we had to.
Did you go to the commissioners' party that they have down there? The big shindig that they have the Saturday before the Super Bowl.
I'm not familiar with that. No, I didn't go to any parties.
You just went home.
I stayed in the disgusting hotel, and I actually had towels on the floors, so I wouldn't have to walk on the floor.
That bad, huh?
He's kind of a germaphobe as well.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah,
think
that's
so.
right.
Yeah.
And I left a pair of gym shorts there, I think. I have to buy new gym shorts. Now I
Mark,
have
can we
these-
look into replacing those for
I
him?
can do that for
Thank
him.
you.
Sure.
Spiegel, you have a connection also to this show because, of course, Mark Ronick's best friend is Lowell Meltzer. And,
Yes.
I want to really talk, if I may. The primary thing I wanted to interview you about, I wanted to talk about Lowell Meltzer and how just what a snake that guy is.
Oh,
I mean,
he's
honest to
horrible.
God, he is just waiting. I'm surprised he hasn't attempted to push you down a flight of stairs.
well, me too.
Yeah.
Why? What has he said?
No, he doesn't say. He doesn't say anything. But I know that he subs for you
Yeah.
when you take vacation
Right.
time. And he's been in here. I think the guy is trouble. I think he's turned Mark Ronick against me.
Right.
I think he's just there's nothing good that can come out of a
Let
relationship
me
with him.
tell you something about Lowell Meltzer.
Please do. Yes.
First time
Wonderful.
He's been filling in for me for a few years, and management loves him.
Yes, of course. they do.
Management hangs out with him.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah, of
go
course.
to go out with him.
It's got to be disturbing.
Is it because
Yeah.
he's a climber? Is he a climber?
What is that? Like
does
a
he
social
he's-
climber?
Yeah, he sucks up to
absolutely.
management.
Career
Absolutely.
climber.
Yeah.
First time I went away
What a dick.
on vacation for a week.
No one likes him.
I was on vacation for a week. I come back. Everybody's raving about how awesome Lowell Meltzer was. Everybody's got his phone number
Don't you hate
in
that?
their cell phones.
Sure they
They're
do.
making plans to hang out with him.
I'm surprised you haven't pushed him downstairs.
Yeah. So look, I worked with him on BAL radio because we were teamed for the Hurricane Irene or whatever the hell.
He was
storm
a
hit us.
dick then too, wasn't he?
Well, it was nice working with him, but I've never had a chance to get to know Lowell. And
You're lucky.
he knows everybody else on the show.
Right.
He's hung out with everybody else on the show.
Sure.
So it just seems a little strange to me that he's friends with everybody else and he just
Hyper competitive,
doesn't
isn't he?
really want to get
Josh,
to know
isn't
me.
he? Isn't he hyper competitive? I mean, I think probably the reason he probably didn't even make an effort to cuddle up to
Right.
you is because because he feels like he wants to come in and he doesn't just want to.
Absolutely.
He doesn't want to keep your seat warm. What he wants to do is he wants to blow you out of the water.
that's
He wants
the
to
thing.
own the seat, Mike.
I'm convinced that's the case.
He talks to us because he can use us. He just wants out of the way.
Oh, we're the step stool to getting to where he wants to be.
Mark, wouldn't you say that's Lowell's fantasy Mickey is, eventually just taking over for Josh at 98 Rock.
Yeah, or you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or me. Yeah, exactly.
But
That's why he
he's
started
got
the
this
show with.
great gig on TV.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's not enough for him, though.
No, it's
Josh, everything is about Lowell. You have to learn that right away. Right
he has
out of
an
the gate.
emptiness in a pit of his stomach, and he's been trying for years to fill it, and he knows not what to fill it with.
Emptiness in
Absolutely.
his soul.
It would be great. You know what his ideal thing would be is he would take over.
He guests
for
here
Spiegel.
occasionally. He stops in, and I pretend I like him, but I really don't.
Yeah.
A really
You're good at
job.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, he does the same.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Now,
His
see, there's his buddy.
Yeah.
There's his buddy. Now, see, that is the disloyalty to the people that feed you.
Yeah.
And that is
we're just
that's
having
exact.
fun.
He had to put that in there, because that's I know where your loyalties lie.
Yeah, that's right.
You are brainwashed by him. You always have been, and that's the way it always will
suckered
be.
in by his good looks and charm.
Absolutely. By the more successful broadcaster.
That's right.
That's
That's
the
right.
way. That's the way it always.
You would think he would have been suckered in by his more successful brother, but still he goes with Lowell.
I know. I know. Lowell, who just will throw him away at a moment's notice.
Of course he will.
Lowell is Mark's Todd Moore, really.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's exactly it.
That's the way it
Lowell's
goes.
fantasy is to take over for Spiegel and turn the news into a daily segment where he just complains about stuff.
Well, it wouldn't just be Spiegel, and then then Mickey and Amelia would be cast to the curb and all that. And there's a program director up there, a reasonably decent guy named Dave Hill, who I've had a number of nice conversations with. And,
They always start out nice, I know.
Yeah, and I always like talking with Dave Hill, but I think that Lowell Meltzer's an interesting guy. Just keep you know what I'm talking about.
Keep your eye on
Well, TV's on the second floor. Radio's on the third floor, and he just better stay on the second floor.
That's right.
Because there's going to be trouble if he comes to 3.
Well, the stairs are in between.
Yeah, exactly. There are stairs. Yeah.
So you guys have been at it since 2006 with Mickey and Amelia, and everything is going well for you in the one. I mean, we always say as much as the money's dried up for all of us, and we're struggling on a day-to-day basis with this meager little effort that we put forth every day, but we love what we do.
Yes.
And we don't have to deal with radio suits.
Right.
I would say you guys, I've met your GM, I've met your program director, and up there as radio executives go, I've only had brief encounters with both of these guys, but as they go, you could do a lot worse than those guys.
They're and it's going to sound like I kiss up, but I don't kiss up.
Oh, go ahead.
They're awesome. I've never worked, and I've worked at a lot of stations. We have a great GM. The PD Dave Hill is great, and they don't breathe down. I mean, speaking personally, they don't breathe down my neck.
That's
I
the
need
best.
to do my thing, And
you guys do your thing, and
yeah.
there are not many places where that happens anymore,
Do you
where you
think
can
it-
turn on a radio show in the morning and you guys are just riffing and having a great time, and I miss that, and I think it's terrific.
Do you think it's because the Hearst group is not quite as big as some of the big guys, and it allows them a little more flexibility in letting the talent do what the talent does?
Well, I don't understand that question, but I will say that's
fair.
It's possible. That's possible. Yeah, we only have 2 stations, Hearst.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I
yes,
didn't know that.
only in Baltimore. 2 radio stations. It's mostly
WBAL and 98 Rock.
Yeah, it's mostly TV stations and newspapers
Right.
Like Cosmo.
So that's it.
That's what it is. That's
Yeah.
the secret. It's
Yeah.
really a small radio organization, which is great.
Oh, it's the best.
That's where the independence comes from.
It's the best,
Yeah,
and I
it's
wish they
wonderful.
were. I wish there were more of them like that because it's a lot of fun. Well, I always say this when I speak to you guys. Just if you can tap old Dave Hill on the shoulder, and tell him this show is formatted for radio now. We're on WTNT, and there's no conflict with us being on up in Baltimore. So
Doesn't WTNT make it up to Baltimore? I can't have to see the map
absolutely.
of coverage.
Well, if it's a low ceiling, and there's not, and there are 2 weeks in July when there's a low ceiling. Now the problem is the weeks are not back to back.
No, nor
They're
are
not
they
consecutive.
consecutive.
Right, I believe it's the 1st and 4th week of July.
And it depends on the kind of window glass you have.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You can listen to us on We're on 7 to 9 every night, Monday through Friday, and if you are in Fairfax City at a restaurant that's on Main Street and you're outside, you'll get the signal booms in.
Stay on the eastern side of Waples Mill Road.
Right.
You'll be fine.
next to
As a
light
matter of fact,
pole.
it's time for another clip. This is today's weekend clip of WTNT. Let's go to that clip right now.
Okay.
There there. That's the
Weekends on WTNT.
Was that the Andy Parks show? I didn't pick up a station.
No, I do him too. Andy Parks.
Hi, Andy.
How are you, Rob?
Good. Did you see what Obama did yesterday?
Yeah, he got up in the morning and had breakfast.
What's up with that, Andy?
I don't know. It's that crowd. He runs around with that crowd that eats breakfast. And you know how those people are. Eating breakfast.
Those people?
Yeah.
What do you mean by those people?
Oh, that outfit is very, very fun. I'm getting a phone call. Hold
Who
on.
is it? Is it Andy Parks?
From Paw Paw, West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Hello? Yes, it is. Yes, who's this?
I'm sorry, Oscar's not here to hear this. Oscar loves when he takes calls.
During the show, yeah.
Yes, hello. Hello, I'm doing my radio show right now, and I accidentally had my personal phone turned on, and that's why it rang right now.
When
I
Mike's
was
in the room,
wondering
everybody's turned on.
if you could call back a little bit later on. Thank you. And what's this calling regarding? Since now I'll lose my train of thought and I'll be dying of curiosity for the rest of the broadcast.
Mike O'Mara has won a $100 spending voucher.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Just call me back and we'll discuss it. Sometime maybe tomorrow after 2.
Excellent.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Everything okay?
F you.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, no, it's somebody that wants to sell me health insurance. Hey, that's timely. Probably a form I filled out back in 1967.
Probably, yeah.
Cool. So, Josh, how do you like the living room studio?
I love it. It's a great setup. It's not what I envisioned.
It's really a living room. You can testify to that. It is a real living room studio.
Right. It is. It is a living room.
It is.
And there is
Confirmed.
a studio in
That's
here.
it. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. It's that dry wit we'll have more of when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. This segment of our program is brought to you by Vistaprint, and I'm going to share with you a couple of cards here.
Cards!
And these came to us today from, this looks like Have a Mustache.
Yes.
This is from Ed Delaney. Is he both these cards, Buzz?
Yes,
Ed
yeah.
Delaney?
Ed had both of those printed by Vistaprint.
Okay, and one said, it looks like he said, have a mustache, and then this is Peculiar Comics and Micro Ed, and he uses Vistaprint, and he writes, enclosed are a couple of different business cards I was able to pull off with the fine folks at Vistaprint. Hopefully there are enough robots and mustaches to go around. Not only are Vistaprint's price is amazing, but the service is second to none. Whenever I've ordered, everything arrived on time or earlier than predicted.
Cool.
And dealing with their customer support staff is a great experience that ensures your print goods come to life exactly the way you want them. Yes, Mark? Oh, is that my mustache?
I forgot to get myself one, or the one on the page there is.
Well,
Whichever you like.
I have
Select
a mustache.
the one you like.
I don't need a mustache. I have a
Well,
mustache.
you don't have these are cool mustaches.
Thanks for the work you fellas do every day, and then some. Listening to TMOS on my way home from work has been a ritual for me the past 2 years, and the daily dose of the funny has prevented me from committing several cases of vehicular manslaughter in D.C. rush hour. Keep the hilarity coming. It's saving lives. S&D from Ed Delaney. P.S. No need to read the name of the website on the mustache cards. I can't afford a bill from Mr. Ronick. So there it is. And it is, what is it?
The
Is
mustache.
It's a stick-on mustache.
Self-adhesive
But I mean,
mustache.
what's the business? I'm looking at this. It's Micro Ed.
Peculiar Comics on the back. It's his mustaches, his free mustaches that he hands out on these cards.
So peculiarcomics.com is his website. I'll give him a plug.
Right, and that's his business.
What do you think, Mike?
There's
Rob, I like yours.
self-adhesive.
You like it?
Let's see, Buzz.
Yours is a little
I haven't
crooked,
got mine
Mr.
on yet.
Spiegel.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I think it might be upside down.
Having trouble getting the backing off of it.
Not very
But,
bright.
you know, free mustaches, that's fun. I like that.
And you know what? They can be altered too, Mike, if you wanted to change them.
Sure.
I like Josh's. I think that's the best.
What do you
That
think of
looks
this
good.
one, Mike?
Looks
What
good
about
on you.
this one?
I can't get the backing off mine.
Now that's you, Rob.
Do you
I
like
think
that?
both Josh and Mark won't be particularly fond of that one.
This is what I call the Oliver Hardy.
Yeah,
I don't know what you.
I just realized what a stupid comment that was. Yeah, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no problem. You're wearing a Hitler mask. The two Jewish guys in the room, they're going to have an issue with your Hitler mask. Say, hey, but no, you wear it all day. I think it'll be fantastic.
Personally, I love it.
Nazi comedy may bother some people, but not us.
No, that's why we do in the living room studio.
Hey, Vistaprint, we didn't talk about the iPhone iPhone cases. Now you will get personalized iPhone cases. Easy to design an iPhone case for every part of your life.
Brilliant.
Just $19.99. That's what they start at. A good investment for your business. Prospective clients will notice Vistaprint, a small business's best friend, offering quality and affordability for marketing and printing. We use them. All iPhone cases are 50% off, but only if you use the code TMOS in the search bar. Now, has that changed? Because I was told before the show, I have a copy that says use the code TMOS in the search bar and then go to Vistaprint.com/TMOS. So what are we doing
I
here?
believe both will work, but we are encouraging people to go to Vistaprint.com/TMOS.
Okay, so check it out, and we thank Vistaprint. We're here with Josh Spiegel from the Mickey, Amelia, and Spiegel show.
And his dog.
98 Rock, and Pumpernickel, his dog, who is beautifully behaved.
Wonderful. I wish Linus would take a lesson.
In the living room studio. Didn't get to anything. We haven't gotten to anything in the show
No.
yet.
And yet we've had a blast.
Want to talk to you today
Yes,
because
please.
you have dodged another potentially fatal bullet.
I laugh in the face of death.
You
Michael
do.
Mara.
Well, I can't talk to you with that mustache on. Also, a Coast Guard warning that I want to alert everybody about before they plan their summer travel.
It's a public service.
A
Really.
little commentary on some senators that are really getting it done that I'm really happy about. Does anyone care about Louisville? Funny watching Patino duck at the fireworks.
Yeah.
Other than that, who knows?
Not so much.
Classy Man of the Year award. Rob on Annette Funicello. Did you study up on that bio, that obit?
I didn't really need to study. There was nothing they said that I didn't already know.
knew it all.
And as a matter of fact, I would like to issue an apology, Mike, because I killed another one.
He did it again.
Do you
What
know
did
that
he
I
do?
focused on Annette Funicello on my radio show last Friday? I did about a minute and a half.
Every
on her,
time he does this, someone dies.
and I feel I killed her.
See, we all think this is such a crazy coincidence, but really, it's just that he focuses on the older actors and actresses.
But
so
she's
of course they're going to
70.
die.
She's only 70.
Well, she had a very bad bout with MS.
She
I
did.
think
She
that's
did.
what it
She
was.
did. But
True.
it wasn't that. But I just
She was
feel bad.
failing for a long
all I
time,
know is she was
unfortunately.
alive. Rob did a show, and now she's gone.
That's right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's all
But
I
I'm
know.
clear on Thatcher and Ebert.
What did you say? You didn't do a musical show about Roger Ebert?
Roger Ebert never covered a record, so no, I didn't do it.
Did you have on the 98 Rock Morning Show, Spiegel, did you have an obit for Annette Funicello?
Oh God, no. I mean, we mentioned it in our entertainment report, but like Mickey Mouse Club, come on now.
Yeah. You're hurting the boy
He's
over
going to
here.
love the audio vault.
Do you have a lot of her in the vault?
Just enough.
Just the right
Just
amount.
enough to that befitted a star of her stature.
Now, the only thing that I can tell you about Annette Funicello is that for years and years and years on the old Don and Mike show, and we use it here today, we've used it a lot, even when Buzz was talking about the ukulele.
Right.
We have played the classic hit that would always indicate that it's time for us to travel away and go on vacation.
Somewhere tropical.
This song
Ladies
right
and
here.
gentlemen, the song stylings of Miss Annette Funicello.
Pineapple princess.
There it is.
He calls me pineapple princess all day.
Boy, no one used more reverb than her.
On the hill above
She's lost somewhere in a well.
princess, I love you. You're the sweetest girl I've seen. Someday we're gonna marry, and you'll be my
Pineapple Queen.
But you know, Mike, that was... and that.
I'm sorry about that.
No.
So sad.
That was not her biggest hit.
What was her biggest
Her
hit?
biggest hit was the novelty record, Tall Paul. Great cowbell record.
This is a piece of work right
You can really whistle it.
here. This is when music was music.
Let me hear it, guys.
I
I love Paul.
Paul Paul.
Was that a big hit?
It was, I think, a top 20 hit, yeah. And now she's looking for tall Paul bearers.
That's not appropriate.
You're
Always
right,
too
I withdraw
soon.
it.
Always too soon.
I said yesterday was too soon for that joke, but today was just about right.
That is too soon.
I've
I've lost my timer.
Oh no!
Again?
Completely lost my timer.
Where did you put
You know,
it?
everything is S-ing the bed technically today. I mean, it takes the guys 15 hours to get our Skype set up.
Yes.
We couldn't even quickly broadcast from China today.
What's up with that?
From my living room. File this under things I wouldn't have said 20 years ago.
you're in
we
a
couldn't get
chair.
our connection to Red China today. I'm sitting in my living room in a chair.
It's Louis C.K. You're sitting in a chair in the sky and you're
Right.
complaining there's no Wi-Fi.
Just to put you back and get your bearings, Mike, we in about a minute 10 we'll have to do our top hour. So we got about a minute, all right?
I'll look for it.
That'll be good.
Just a mess today. I tell you, I'm all discombobulated.
Safe home, Annette Funicello. More later on the Mike O'Mara
Never never get my bearings when anybody brings a damn dog into the studio.
Oh, it's a
I'm
nice
sorry.
dog.
No, I'm
This
just
is
kidding.
clearly the best behaved dog we've ever had in
She's
studio.
she's very good. At work this morning, everybody loved her, and
She's amazingly well behaved.
well,
Yeah,
thank
nice
you. I
dog.
appreciate that.
It's terrific.
And I'm trying to get the company to adopt a pets at work policy.
Wouldn't that be great? It would save you a fortune.
People are stress free, real relaxed.
Right.
How many years?
We tried that with Mike.
How many years have you had? Well, I got mine in the kitchen.
Yeah, but you don't like when we bring ours.
And what's amazing is because he came in the front door, they're not going badass
They
right
don't
now.
know. They don't know.
Let me. What is that?
You have
So
20
times.
seconds.
Oh, really? I got to take a break again?
Yeah.
Jesus, we just started talking.
I know.
Are you ready to talk about your near-death
Sure, yeah,
experience?
let's give it a shot.
Your second near-death experience in
Third,
like 2
really.
years, third one.
Yeah, right.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back. We're here with Josh Spiegel and everybody else. We'll see you in a minute.
Someday when I'm lonely, wishing you weren't so far away.
It's that China call. Got us all backed up today.
I agree, Mike.
Welcome back to the show, brought to you by Smart Smoke, the premium e-cigarette. Smart Smoke has the nicotine you crave. I'm smoking one of their cigars right now.
I love that you're doing this because you know what today is? I don't want to revisit yesterday's show. Today is Winston Churchill Day.
Well, it is. This is Britain's finest hour. I will smoke them on the beaches. I will smoke them in the airports. I will smoke them in Beijing. That's right. Smart Smoke.
Sir Winston Churchill.
All you have to do is go to smartsmoke. Buzz, it's not like you need to say Sir Winston Churchill. I hope to God they know that's Winston Churchill.
Well, of course they do. It's just fun.
All across America, people are saying, look, Mike's doing Ed Sullivan.
80% less than traditional tobacco. Tobacco products. That's a bargain at smartsmoke.com. Please, every time you order, we get a little credit. It's called an affiliate program.
Yes, that's right.
That's how it works. Add your refills. Smartsmoke.com. Bully, 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 bully. All right, so Buzz,
Yes.
you dodged a bullet, and you said you didn't want to talk about it until everything
I didn't want to
came
scare
through.
people. I didn't want to frighten people needlessly.
Why you weren't here last Thursday, because
Right.
you were being poked and prodded.
Oh, was I ever?
You had a health scare.
Yeah, a little bit. Again, I mean, this would be my third genuine scare in the last, 12, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I escape death. So I'm
Right.
deciding now I'm just invincible. Nothing can get
See,
me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Well, I think you have 6 lives left. is
Yeah,
what
that's
it
about
is.
right.
This
That's
is the
about
guy
right.
that when he was in the hospital and they tranquilized him and his tongue was hanging out and we all thought you were going to die.
In a coma for 11 days.
And you came back, and once again, you said the same thing. You said you feel cocky. Do
Cocky,
you feel
yeah.
cocky this time, or do you feel perhaps that you ought to just mend your ways a little bit?
Mr. Death has been at my door 3 times, and all 3 times he's gone away.
And how do you feel?
I feel great, and with every reason to. Yeah, I got a little, prostate cancer scare is what it was, and it turned out not to be the case, which I'm very grateful for. Obviously, something's going on, but the big C out of the question, out of the picture. I was a little worried about it. Didn't want to talk about it. Didn't want to alarm people at the time when I first got the news. But we're out of the woods. All tests negative. I'm good to go.
And it was a prostate thing, right?
It was. And it turns out it had been overused.
Right.
Oh.
That's so gross.
That really is.
That is so disgusting.
I love those exams.
If you love the exams, and I had those too, I also got the biopsy, and that's where they put 12 needles in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in the bad place?
Yes.
And the amazing thing
Yes.
is, Mike, they pull them out and they're all threaded on a thread. It's like a magic thread.
I don't want to
We made a potholder.
I don't want to necessarily go into real detail.
No one does.
Do they do it one at a time?
Yes, they do.
They put
And
each
they use
needle goes up.
One device that sort of stays up there, and then it or maybe it doesn't stay. I don't know. You're facing the wall. You don't know.
Do they
what's going on.
tranquilize you at all?
They give you a local anesthetic.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes from Manassas.
So you actually get 13 pokes. And the first is the lidocaine or novocaine or whatever it is they shoot in there, and then it's like that, and then he uses some kind of gun device thing, whatever, and it makes a snapping sound, and about 1 second after the snapping sound is when you feel the pinch.
Trailers
Stop that
for
because it
sale
sounds like
or
that. It really-
Rooms to rent 50 cents.
Another Roger Miller song.
It does sound like that. Yeah.
So is it excruciatingly painful?
Not excruciating, but it's no day at the beach, you know. And so you're sitting there. And there's like,
well, that's the problem. You shouldn't be sitting.
You're laying there actually
Okay.
on your side, and there's a snap, and then 1 second later later, you feel the pinch, and then they remove the sample, and they go in to get another sample, and so there's about, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds between each firing of that little clicking gun.
Wow.
Yeah, and so you go through 13 of those. One
exhausting? Is it exhausting?
I found myself tired later that day. In fact, I slept the rest
How
of the day.
long does the whole thing last?
Oh, it only takes about 20 minutes, the procedure itself.
not bad.
And I ended up, I walked right out of there. I mean, or I walked a little like John Wayne, but I walked right out of there.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but the good news is, all negative. All 12 of those samples were negative. I'm good. I'm in the
You were
clear.
scared? They were able
well,
to-
sure. It's a scary thing.
You're sure all the needles are out?
I can only sit on one haunch right now.
Now,
Yeah.
all I can think of when you talk about the lidocaine is what it's like when you're driving home from the dentist after having a procedure, and you can neither talk nor drink nor do anything like that. What's it like walking with a numb ass?
Well, there was no slobbering, so I'm pleased about that.
The drooling was kept
But and there
to
was,
a minimum.
with all this tension with North Korea, Buzz is so popular over there that it was actually announced on the Korean news service.
박명성 3호 2호기 위성 발사 성공.
It's a shame that we don't have the video of that because the picture behind the lady was great, really top notch.
You liked your doctors and all that?
Yeah, very much, very much. So, the doctor in this case, my urologist in this case, reminded me a lot of Dr. Hibbert from The Simpsons.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was a
Is
great-
that the guy that goes, and hillbillies want to be called songs of the South, but it ain't going to happen.
That's the one. A wonderful man, a great doctor, and nice guy, and he did a good job. He hurt me as little as he could get away with.
Was he gentle?
Yes, he was.
Are you having dinner with him later?
Yes, I am.
Do they warn you that I know that a lot of men are concerned that when something like that is done, that your plumbing might not be back to normal?
I'm pleased to announce that it's working fine. I was able to give it its first test run last night.
Oh God, I didn't need to hear that.
Well, you asked,
I
and
didn't
there's
need
the
to hear
answer.
that.
But yeah, no, I'm fine and fully functional.
Really?
It's open. My prostate is open for business.
They warn you
good
though.
news, ladies.
I know because RJ went through that crap.
Yeah, he did.
And they
With,
warn you. And
less
they,
happy results.
They warned you that could be the case, and when they warn you about that, that's what freaks you. You were kind of freaked out about that part of it.
Well, sure, because you don't know if you have it or you don't, and if you have it, how advanced is it, and yeah, it's something we're going to have to continue to watch. But the good news is, for now, I'm in the clear.
This is surprising to me because I remember when RJ had this procedure, he stayed in bed for 4 days, but that turns out it wasn't because the doctor told him
not
to.
related.
He
Yeah.
just did.
It's kind of his routine.
That is. He didn't want anything too different.
But no, he had it a little rougher than I did.
Yeah.
In fact, I got through this procedure a lot more easily than I think he got through his.
I see.
So I'm very happy about that, and I'm good to go.
So what do you think of that, Spiegel?
I mean, I'm going to need a glass of water. we had a urologist come up to 98 Rock a few years ago.
Yes.
We sealed off a studio in the back.
Sure.
And we got prostate exams.
That's nice.
It's a public service.
It is.
And we have the audio and everything, and I'm screaming. I won't get into detail, but let's just say my urologist, his finger, the circulation was cut off for a time. I was a little stressed out.
Occupational hazard.
We did the same
He eventually
thing.
got his ring back, right?
You know that this is why they're great. We had because there was a campaign floating around.
Yes.
There are these offices that they advertise
Yeah.
and they want to promote it. And I
Yeah.
did
Get
the same
screened.
thing. We didn't do it live on the air. See, that's the genius of that morning show. Maybe I would have still been on that morning show if we'd done that live and
be.
set up a room over there.
Were you suspicious when they got to Amanda? That's my
Amelia.
Amelia. I'm sorry.
Amelia. With
I'm sorry. That would have been funny if I'd gotten the name right.
Nearly.
She manned the studio when you were in there. Well, I'm glad you're healthy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
yeah.
I'm glad you're happy. You say you still got to monitor stuff and you'll
Right,
keep
yeah,
us
but
posted.
it's no big deal. It's not a big concern. I think we're going to be okay.
Well, good for you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank
on
you
it.
for your support during
Buzz,
that period of time.
Don't be cocky.
Okay. Well, all right.
I know.
like
I know
said,
that it might be your initial go-to emotion,
death
but it
keeps come knocking, and it
it ain't healthy.
It goes away.
It ain't healthy. Be careful and
I
be
think
thankful.
he means that sincerely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, him or me?
No, I do.
He's being sincere.
Can I have another mustache, please?
God, if I had a nickel for every time you said that,
I need another mustache.
I'm being sincere.
for your Groucho Marx eyebrows here?
Shaved
Take this one.
is a magazine that is normally found in. Hello, I'm Eugene Levy.
I like Eugene Levy.
But Buzz, I really do think it's not.
Shaved is a magazine.
What a
that,
treat for the people
do
on the
that.
video today.
Hello, how are you? Yes, that's the extent of my Eugene Levy impersonation that I do right there.
You're not cocky, though.
Well, not really, and I will try to be careful. But isn't it odd and interesting and almost amusing that I've come that close several times and it goes away. Everything turns out to be okay.
See, I have a totally different attitude. I feel like every day, especially now that I have a little one on the way. I think it's just going to be, oh, look at the baby. Oh, that's the right. Show the baby to the father. There we go. Oh my God, look at that. He just dropped it. Do you know that I'm going to be a dad?
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
When does Josh O'Mara due?
Little Josh Spiegel O'Mara is due July 19th.
That's right. Yeah.
And she had a doctor's visit yesterday, and everything is hunky dory. So everything is wonderful. The baby's heartbeat is strong, and the newest development is that lying in bed. Is it ridiculous looking at me with these eyebrows?
Not at all.
Thank you. And,
I can't believe how comfortable I am with it.
Thank you very much.
I think it looks wonderful.
I haven't seen it myself. Can I see the monitor, please, for a second?
I'd
Thank you.
keep them if I were you.
Yes, the baby is going to be fantastic. Where's John Candy? Oh,
It's
he's
raising
dead.
them. That's the trick.
So the baby now, when the baby kicks, it was first feel my tummy, and I have to do that periodically because it's fun, and when you feel a kick, it's amazing.
Does she return the favor and feel your stomach?
Well, the kicks just don't happen with mine.
And it takes so much longer.
It depends on the Mexican food.
Depends on what you've eaten, yeah.
And so I look, and you can actually see the movement on the belly.
Oh, that always freaked me out.
That gets me. That always gets me.
That freaks you out a little bit. That always gets you.
Get you how?
With the many women that you've impregnated over the years.
Mike, cherish it. Because they grow up very fast.
Every day is a gift.
So you blink and they're 16. They're sweet. You blink, they're graduating
Turn
high
around,
school.
yeah.
I've got an 8-year-old right here on the floor. And
Pumpernickel the dog.
It just goes by so fast.
It does fly by.
Turn around and they're 2.
Oh my God, it's great. I'm excited about it. But
have you seen yet like an imprint that looks like a hand or a foot?
No, not that, because I don't think the baby's that grown yet.
That's wild.
But the one line, and this is the standard line from my cousin Teddy, who said he's another older father like I am, and he said when the babies are out of diapers, it'll be time to put me in the diapers.
That's right.
Are you freaking out? Scott, our producer, is
he going to be a daddy?
Yes, he's with baby.
That's wonderful.
Yes. Now,
but he's a third of Mike's age.
Well, he's freaking out. And he actually is saying that he wants to sell the baby because it'll save him a lot of money. He'll actually make money. Today we were talking about how Saudi Prince would probably be a good candidate. He could get over $1 million.
Is there a Mrs. Is there a Mrs. Scott?
Oh, she's a Mrs. All right, she's lovely.
Is she really?
Yeah.
And how long has he been married?
A couple years.
So he's a little freaked about the whole prospect of bringing the child into the world. He's a good guy. I like him.
Nice fellow.
I like the whole crew up there. I am not freaked out.
Okay.
The only time I get a little bit concerned is when I will be out at a restaurant and I see the baby, and I said, "Oh, that's what dining is going to be now. That's what dining out is going to be
for the next. You're going to be really, really compromised for like the next 10 years." You really are.
You're going to be playing a lot.
I'm just getting out of it,
That might just have gotten to me. But I'm not going to be compromised. I'm going to live my life.
Right.
And I'm going to enjoy my life. And I'm also going to be more available than I was the first go-around with my 2 daughters. And I think it's going to be a blessed event. And I'm slowing down. And as the babies are coming up, I'm slowing down a little bit. I'm not what I was when I was in my 30s.
I think you'll be available up to a point, and then you'll be out playing golf.
I think that there will be times. We've had discussions about it. And there have been times where I say that we're both going to need the break.
Oh, of course.
And we're going to need to give each other just a little bit of space. And I'm looking forward to that.
For example, you know how you always give me grief because I never do anything? You're going to realize why it is for the last 10 years I haven't done anything.
Right.
Because you're going to have a kid in that.
Yeah, but even if you didn't have children, you wouldn't have done anything.
But it doesn't make it any easier.
Your routine does involve the magic box.
It does.
It does not involve anything outdoors whatsoever.
Well, I don't like the out of doors.
You don't like the out of doors, so you really wouldn't. So you were perfect.
I prefer in of doors.
You were perfect to be a father because you don't do anything.
This is true.
You're home. You are a home body.
However, like when you challenge me, you say, there's an activity that I do love, which is going to the movies. You say you never go to the movies because it's too much of a hassle.
Well, you're also too cheap to get a babysitter.
It's not.
Would that be accurate that you're too cheap for a sitter?
We don't really have sitters available. We're honing in on one that might work out, which is actually a neighbor's son. So that's good. But a good babysitter.
I'm freaked out. I was always freaked out regarding babysitters, but I went through the process of interviewing them and making sure that they were terrific, and my ex-wife and I used Mark Ronick.
I'm a great babysitter.
Yeah, use Mark Ronick.
I
as
can
a
see you,
babysitter.
a little 3-year-old Omer. I said, tonight we're going to learn how to compound interest.
There are little things that I plan to do. I plan to be a responsible parent in this regard. Like, for example, there will be times when you go out to a restaurant and you've got the kid with you.
Yeah. Right.
And I will not be one of these parents. I was having lunch one time with my sister, and there were probably a 2, a 1, and an infant.
Screaming.
I mean, these people,
Irish triplets.
These people had bred like rabbits on a regular basis, and they sat at a table and they left the restaurant. And I looked him back, and underneath their table looked like Beirut. It was ridiculous.
Wrappers,
it
crackers.
was so incredibly disgusting. You saw the crap all over the floor, and I said, I'm not going to be one. I'm going to pick up after my kid.
You
my
have
kid
to.
is throwing 500 Cheerios on the floor. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a good parent.
Well,
that way.
the real
you'll
good
try.
parent, the real good parent doesn't really put the kid in the situation in a restaurant where that happens.
Well, there are
Because
things.
that compromises people around you.
I
as
know,
well.
but you know that distraction is the key, especially if you're on an airplane.
Yes.
You want to bring the big bag of stuff so that the kid can be occupied and you can do that type of thing. And I know that sons are, in many cases, a little more rambunctious than daughters.
If Robert had been first, he would have been an only child.
Really?
Yes.
Because he was a handful?
Oh my God, Julia you could leave unattended in a room for days, and she'd just sit there.
Days, just
fine.
give her food and water.
Yeah, and she was amazing. And then Robert was make
Jesus,
sure.
Rob. I mean, give the kid a break. He had cancer.
And there's that. And there's that.
Yeah.
Julia never
God.
put us through that.
That's true.
What
I'm
a
looking
pain in
forward
the
to it.
ass.
You know what? It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And look, it's going to be new. It's
will.
just like if I was 25 or I'm 54. It doesn't matter. I'm looking at it as a new experience, and I will deal with the situations as they come.
And I know you're responsible.
Where's the wine?
And I know you're responsible. I know you mean well, and I know that in your heart you want to pick up in that restaurant before you leave. But I also contend there are going to be occasions where you're just going to get the hell out of there.
I just know these are this was a group of adults. There was a grandma, there was a father,
Right.
there was a mother.
Extended
they
family.
could have. You just don't. Just because you have a baby, you don't. Everybody doesn't have to. Go along with your rules. They don't have to. They don't have to completely take care of your life. You actually have to be responsible and remind yourself, just like you would have as a couple without children, that others do matter. That's the way I look at it.
One of my favorite things you ever did.
I've always been considerate of others. Don't you think so, Josh?
Oh, you're a wonderful man.
Thank you very much.
No,
right in.
one of my favorite Mike stories ever when you were picking up one of them, it might have been Catherine, it might have been that long ago. You were picking her up at school.
Yes.
And he was going through the travesty that is the drop-off pickup line.
It's crazy.
And you actually yelled at a woman out of your car. You rolled the window down and said, "Others! Others!" And who hasn't
That's a
been
big
there?
deal to me.
Because the mommy,
Yes.
and that's the way you say it, at least for the people on Ustream, the mommy, occasionally just gets so self-involved that they're incredibly rude.
You
And
see
I
it
don't
a lot
want to
at
be one
the
of
you
those
see it
people.
at the elementary school level a lot.
Often
And-
involves strollers.
Yeah, it does. Well, I don't know if it often involves strollers.
And I don't know if one thing I probably won't do as much. I really don't think, because I don't do it anymore anyway. I'm not going to do air travel as much as I have in the past. I really,
right.
I'm
That's
going
a
to
pain.
pick locations where I want a vacation, where it's closer to home, and I don't have to do, because air travel with a kid, as you know, when they're little bitties, is nightmarish.
And
it really is.
No two ways about it. You're going to need a stroller, obviously, but
And I know
please-
you hate them, Buzz.
No, just don't make it one of those double-decker, double-wide things. Just that's all I ask.
yeah, well, if you have two kids, you need that, Buzz.
And of
But
course,
he only will have one.
a lot of people have been clamoring to say, they've said, Mike, where are you registered? Don't worry, I will be making that announcement soon.
Mike is registered at the ABC store.
I've been very, very cocky with my wife. Said,
Don't be cocky.
Don't worry about it, dear. Don't worry. I'm going to announce where you're registered, and the listeners are going to go crazy.
I'd like to encourage something to the listeners. A
What's that?
registry is nice, but I think that the most thoughtful gifts are the ones that are made.
Well,
Homemade, handmade gifts.
If I was closer to you,
crafted,
I would stab you in the eye with a
knitted,
sharp
or
object right
crocheted.
Yeah, a lovely poem.
now. No, I don't
or
want
a card.
anything. Stop it. Now, see, he is the taker of takers.
Oh, I am.
And he will take from the listener, and he is raining on my parade. I know he's
No,
doing under
no.
the guise
It's
of
a
being
joke.
of
It's a
being
joke.
funny. Do not send any skeezy homemade stuff.
The good news
Please.
is I was talking to Carrie, and the quilt is almost done.
Stop it.
Almost.
When I don't know where you're registered or where you're going to be registered, but I know that whatever the case, enter the code TMOS.
Right.
yes,
Well,
please.
Ooh, there are going to be several registries.
Good.
And,
Yes,
but
there
I'll
should be.
all right, you know what? I'll let it go. I'll
Okay.
let the
All
first
right.
one. The
Very
first
good.
one, Track Auto.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
Track Auto.
That's a good one.
So check that registry out.
And you're under both names. I know.
Speaking of vacations,
anywhere else you're registered, Mike?
Speaking of Patriot Harley Davidson.
That's right. Babies love motorcycles.
They do.
A couple of stories before we go to break here, because I know we have to get the audio vault on. The Indonesian province of, it's Aceh, and that would be, the way I would pronounce that would be Aceh. Aceh has banned female citizens from passing gas.
Well, that seems right.
Saeed Yahya, mayor of the city, told media that a ban was needed as farting does not go well with Islamic values of modesty. The mayor added that only women in the public space are going to be monitored, and it will be the responsibility of the husband to make sure that his wife upholds Islamic values at home.
Are they still showing the Paula Deen show over there?
Man, I bet hers are terrible.
Oh, Jesus. And lengthy.
Oh, God.
Lengthy. I bet she blocks out hunks of time.
And you know what? You know when she does that? I bet when she does that phony laugh when it's like, "That's right, y'all."
Yeah, that's to cover it up. Yes,
butter.
The offender, are you ready for this? Could receive 20 lashes for small farts and up to 3 months prison time for larger ones.
I know that if you get lashed, you're going to fart. The lash will make you fart.
That's right. It just makes it worse.
I'll do my whole thing on gun control. There are some of these senators that are threatening a filibuster about the legislation, and I'm going to piss people off. But I'll wait to piss you off tomorrow.
I think that'll be nice.
Last thing for vacationers down there, the Coast Guard warns us not to save pets if they're being swept out to sea. So if you are at the beach, I see you've got your dog here, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Pumpernickel.
Is that a sweet dog or what?
Hello there, Pumpernickel.
Hates the podcast, but a great dog.
Such a good dog. If the pet is being swept out to sea, apparently a lot of people have lost their lives rescuing dogs when they've tried to go into the surf. And I just want to say, don't do that. You know, because the odds are the pet might make it back safely, and you don't want to risk your life being swept out to sea. And I wanted to say to Beluga, we're planning a lot of beach vacations. There you go. Get in there, boy. Where is he? That's not him. It's seaweed.
Tip it.
We'll take a break. Come back with Rob and the Magic Audio Vault right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Is that Annette Funicello?
It is her only duet with the Beach Boys.
Way to play tribute, Rob.
Great lady.
This portion of our program brought to you by ScoreBig.com. Taking your family to any event can be really expensive, especially if you're paying too much for tickets. Imagine getting great seats at up to 60% below the box office price. Your first stop, whatever you want to see, is ScoreBig.com. Just a week ago, I had great seats, really great seats at ScoreBig, and I got them for less than anybody else online. And the best part about ScoreBig, no extra fees ever.
Never.
So if you're going to pay $100 for 4 tickets,
right,
that's what you're going to pay.
That's
They're not going to sneak those fees in. So there's no need to go anywhere else but scorebig.com. And don't forget to enter our code TMOS. You get $30 off your price if it's your first time shopping there.
Cool.
So, and I hope it's your 8th time, but if it's your first time, you get $30 off. Let's open up the audio vault for today, Tuesday, April 9, 2013. Take it away, Rob Spiewak, as Pumpernickel's getting very close to you.
Yeah, right by your feet there.
Hello.
Mike, Annette Funicello was so much more than a peanut butter spokeswoman.
That hiking makes you hungry, Alex.
All safe.
Looks like you're really enjoying that Skippy peanut butter sandwich.
Tastes great.
Guess Mom packed it because Skippy...
I think that, for my generation, is where she's most remembered,
Right.
as the Skippy spokeswoman.
For other generations, she's really remembered for...
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's be honest. I mean, the thing that
She
made
was
her
a sweater girl.
literally stand out among the Mouseketeers was the Rock.
Yeah, the only one who had bigger breasts was Roy. But anyway, that is actually referenced in the movie Stand By Me, Mike.
Have you guys been watching the Mickey Mouse Club lately?
Yeah.
I think Annette's are getting bigger.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he's right. I've been noticing lately that the A and the E are starting to bend around the side.
Annette's are great.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing from the whole Annette Funicello passing is the fact that they asked Britney Spears about it.
Why? Was she a Mickey Mouse Club person?
Britney Spears
Okay.
was in one of the incarnations of the Mickey Mouse Club, and
That's
apparently,
right, and so was Justin Timberlake.
and I think that's where they first met. And I think that Britney just has pat answers that she replies when she can't really hear the paparazzi.
Right.
She eventually apologized for this remark, but this is one of my favorite TMZ exchanges ever.
Hey, Brittany, what do you think about the passing of Annette Funicello?
I think that's great.
Oops.
I think
She
that's
said, I think
great.
that she's an
She
idiot.
didn't hear it.
Let's have that one more time.
Hey, Brittany, what do you think about the passing of Annette Funicello?
I think that's great.
Obviously not listening.
Not listening, no.
Not a good listener.
And the last Annette thing, and I love this is a great little musical thing that a lot of people don't know, is that before Johnny had his theme on The Tonight Show, it was actually a record that Annette put out written by Paul Anka. And it had to be eventually slightly reworked, but this is the old Tonight Show theme.
It's really love, dear. I knew it from the start.
And it was an Annette Funicello song?
In 1960, yeah. So what happened is Paul Anka, it never hit. He brought it to Johnny, actually gave Johnny co-composing credit, and in 1962 it became... But it was an Annette Funicello record before it was Johnny.
I was 4.
Yeah.
I like excuses to say that. And before that, I was 1.
But
I was 1 year old.
Safe home Annette. And you know what? She was a pretty cool lady, did a lot of stuff on her terms. And
Spiegel, some thoughts on the passing of Annette Funicello.
She was a delicate flower. She will be missed. I didn't really care about her at all, but apparently the media is making a huge deal out of it, so I have to care.
Well, this show certainly is.
No, I respect that. I respect
Well, that's big
that.
of you.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything about it, but apparently if Britney Spears thinks her death is great.
You know, Josh really brought himself to this
Yes,
show.
he truly
today.
did.
I'm enjoying
I'm delighted.
this. That's
Never
what I
met him
like.
before. I'm enjoying
That's
this thoroughly.
exactly what it is. It's my favorite part of the show.
Congratulations, Louisville, on becoming the NCAA champs.
Yes.
And I think the best part of the game is not the fact that they won it for Kevin Ware, obviously, and I think that is one of the greatest stories, is the explosion of fireworks that went off after the game. That
And Rick
totally
Pitino
startled
really looked like
Rick
it was going to
Pitino.
take the top of his head off.
Let's go to the audio there.
What a week.
What a week. Crazy week. Crazy
And-
good
and
week.
what a game. Well, they're just looking at the clock here. A formality at this point.
And that will do it as Louisville completes the emotional journey to the championship. And the young man who inspired...
Pretty loud for an indoor firework display.
Confetti cannon.
Yeah.
And Patino really almost dove on the floor.
Yeah.
He was so freaked out.
Do you think
by
he
this.
has enemies? That he has to be that aware of it?
I think you're wrapped up tight.
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
In that, you're all of a sudden you have this moment of relief, and then somebody sets a cannon off, and
Yeah.
it's a little freaky. Louisville and Michigan, not a real big surprise that those were the two playing for the national championship. And Rick Pitino is an amazing, amazing coach, and to the best of my knowledge, doesn't throw basketballs at his players' heads. on a regular basis.
Next year, the Shockers.
The
Absolutely.
Shockers. Sorry about your Shockers.
Yeah,
Shockers and Rams.
They fought well.
Right.
Yeah, but the Rams will lose to Kansas.
But
So
I
say
understand-
it, the two biggest sports fans in the room.
But I understand the Shockers are okay.
Yes,
that
they did very
even though they lost and they didn't get to the final dance, they're in the pink.
I've been
Always.
I've been taking a lot of heat for comments I've been making about Kevin Ware. Is that his name? The guy who
Yes.
who,
The
flew
leg
off
break.
Yeah, it snapped.
during the game, allegedly.
Like a toothpick.
What have you said that's so
I've
controversial,
said that
Spiegel?
I believe the whole thing was a stage.
For sympathy? To garner sympathy and support?
Sympathy and to get popularity.
Of course. Of
They're
course.
all over the news
They
today.
love him now.
You know what I'd
everybody.
say? I would say, Spiegel, if you followed the money, it would end up with Jim Nance. He crafted the whole thing. Ratings are up. Everybody's happy.
And I said this on the air on 98 Rock the other day, and there was a studio full of people. And when I said it, they all literally gasped. You can have conspiracy theories about the Kennedy assassination,
Yes, you can.
about the moon landing, but you say something about basketball.
You're in big trouble, boy.
Serious
Unbelievable.
business.
I agree with you. I'm with that conspiracy theory 100%. Amazing special effects.
Great job, yeah. With the passing of Margaret Thatcher later in the news cycle yesterday, I didn't have a chance to pull any tape about her yesterday, so today we close with a couple things about Margaret
The
Thatcher.
Iron Lady.
Someone posted, "Now Thatcher's dead," as a hashtag on the Twitter.
Right.
But because it was all in one word, all lowercase,
It could also be read.
"Now that Cher's dead."
Oh, wow.
And Jimmy Kimmel talked about that last night.
But here's the twist. On Twitter, someone came up with a hashtag that said, "Now Thatcher's dead." I guess because we've had a number of high-profile deaths over the past few days. But some people read it like this: "Now that Cher's dead." They thought Cher died. There was panic in the gay community.
But luckily, everything's okay with Cher, as well as things
As far as
can
we
be.
know.
Yeah.
And the America that we live in, that would have been a bigger news story than Margaret
It
Thatcher.
would have.
Yes.
And I close, a lot of things were said about Margaret Thatcher yesterday, many of them glowing, but no one talks about her having a sense of humor. And I had never seen this tape before, and I close with this today, a tribute to the Iron Lady. She was talking about the Liberal Party in Great Britain, and they had just adopted a new mascot, Mike, and it was a bird. And as you know, she was a staunch conservative. This is her regarding this new logo that involved a bird.
Okay.
I think this is from like 1981.
Politics is a serious business, and one should not lower the tone unduly. So I will say only this of the Liberal Democrat symbol and of the party it symbolizes. This is an ex-parrot. It is not merely stunned, it has ceased to be, expired, and gone to meet its maker.
Brilliant.
It is a parrot no more. It has rung down the curtain and joined the choir invisible. This is a late parrot. And now for something completely different.
Quoting Monty Python.
Isn't
Way
that
to go,
great?
Maggie.
I had never heard that
Direct
before.
quote.
I love that.
Safe home, Margaret Thatcher. That, Mike, is your Magic Audio Vault.
Thank you, Rob. We'll take a break. Come back with Buzz and the news. No pressure, but you got another newsman in here.
I think it'll be fine.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back right after this on the Mike O'Mara Show. Is that more Funicello?
No, this is Bill Deal and the Rondells.
Jesus.
Trying to mix it up a little bit.
Wow. Tomorrow, can we get some modern music?
Nope.
Come on, please.
We'll see if you're good.
Okay, thank you very much. Can I make a request?
Nope.
Because I didn't mention. I didn't mention this.
What would you like?
Well, Sammy is like making overtures to Eddie about getting Van Hagar back together.
Yeah.
My favorite incarnation of Van Halen.
Sure.
And I would love that to happen. So maybe
All Van Hagar for you tomorrow. then.
Thank you.
Hey,
That's
that'll be
wonderful. Without further ado, let's get right to it. Here he is, the man, Mr. Buzz Burbank, healthy as a horse and ready to give us news.
Cocky.
And
Strong.
no days off for the rest of the year.
Strong like bull.
Laughing in the face of death.
We'll talk about that.
I look forward to Buzz hosting Best of this summer.
Thank you very much. Take it away, Buzz.
We are brought to you today by the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page. Now, save up to 75% on watches, shoes, and everything from wireless routers to SAT prep kits.
Nice.
Save up to 70% on books, headphones, and jewelry. 60% on musical instruments and home theater gear. Up to 50% off on clothes and outdoor gear. Know someone who's having a baby?
Mike O'Mara.
30% off on baby stuff and cell phones and computers. Save your money and support your show. Click and bookmark the Amazon link at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Thank you.
With vacation time approaching, the new airline quality ratings are out, and the results are not surprising. Complaints were up to an all-time high of 20%, mainly because of people getting bumped from oversold flights. But cancellations and delays were also a common complaint. Complaints about lost luggage were down because fewer people are checking bags now that more airlines are charging for that.
I'm going to be traveling to Boston in the next couple of weeks, going up for my mom's birthday, and I will tell you, we do 7.5, 8 hours now. That's
Yeah,
a 7.5,
it's
8
an
hour
ordeal.
because I will not hassle with the total time outlay of probably 3.5 hours, 4 hours to go through the airports
This is a
because
pain.
it's just a pain in the ass.
It's no fun anymore. It
It's
used to be
horrible.
fun.
It's
used to
horrible.
be fun.
I don't know.
choose to
I
do
don't
it.
think it was ever fun.
No, it was.
No, it was easier, but it was never fun. It was always a hassle.
Yeah, it was.
Well, you
And-
don't like to leave the house.
And then but it just got miserable after
it
a while. It really did.
It did.
sucked.
The study shows Virgin America is our favorite airline, followed by JetBlue, AirTran, and Delta. Southwest also still scoring well, but we hate United Airlines, and we're not so fond of American either, according to this 23rd annual survey.
I'll tell you, American only comes to mind. TWA and American are the only two where I have ever felt abject terror on an
Really?
airliner.
Yeah.
And American is the only one. It was Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. It's the only one, 727, I'll never forget this, where full power, heading down the runway, brakes come on, back to the terminal, where we actually went up to speed for takeoff, and he backed off, and it was an aborted takeoff.
I think
that's living, baby.
It's
If you're a
cutting it close.
if you're a phobic flyer, that is a slice of heaven right there.
I think TWA, we were on the same flight that horrified you. It was an aborted landing into Nashville.
Yeah, and going into National, that was an aborted landing.
That
and
was
it's
scary.
Gear down, and it's like, I know where the airport is. We're way too high. And that was the one where we, did they
if I had a
divert to
nickel.
BWI?
No, we got back into National.
Oh,
but
that's right. And that's when you, the door was closed and we're getting off the plane and you could hear, "You stupid Obviously, some co-pilot was getting his ass chewed
The
out.
new thicker doors, you don't hear that anymore.
No, not at all.
Another day, another shrill warning from North Korea. It's getting tiresome. Even people who thought North Korea deserves a slapdown are losing interest. The latest from the North is that tourists in South Korea are at risk in case of war. Tourists, right there, you're hearing tourists being urged to evacuate Seoul and the rest of South Korea for their own safety.
Yeah, it's as the South goes down in South Korea.
Is it not safe in South Korea?
We don't cotton to all this rhetoric and saber rattling down in the South.
Yeah.
This war of northern aggression will not hold.
Good.
And I know for a fact that those people up north, those Yankees, they can put all the missiles on the beaches they want, but we're going to ignore them. You see,
Colonel,
yes.
Have you seen Master Santana?
He's in China.
I know, but it's in the area, right?
Yeah, I don't get up there. That's even further north than the northern aggressors are.
Well, I guess you wouldn't head up there then.
You see.
In the meantime, the U.S. Navy is now armed with a laser weapon that can burn through solid steel. The invisible beams of light can either blind or shoot down surveillance drones with ease. The prototype's on its way to the Persian Gulf, where Iranian drones and fast-moving boats are harassing American military ships. This laser can be fired at a moving target from a moving ship with pinpoint accuracy. So accurate, in fact, they can destroy part of a plane or boat without damaging other parts or people.
Oh, that is so tight.
Like that.
And also, isn't it
Something to keep in
amazingly
mind.
cheap in comparison to firing a mortar?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And reusable and all
Exactly.
of that. Yeah,
It's much
It's
greener,
a new age.
Mike.
Star Trek is here.
That's mortar is not in my sound effects machine, but the
Someday.
front part of the mortar is. I can do the front part.
Do that,
All right,
Hold on a
please.
second.
Front part of the mortar.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Also good for the human cannonball.
That's the sound I heard in
One
my
more
doctor's office.
Thank you very much.
Now, this government sequester thing hasn't been as bad as we expected, but it's no day of the beach either. It put jobs at risk when we can ill afford that. It's made uncertain an economy that's already uncertain. President Obama, having suggested the idea, thinking no sane lawmaker would allow it to happen, has now refunded the government 5% of his salary. Should our lawmakers, who did allow this to happen, do the same thing?
Yep.
A new poll shows most of us think just that. The Gallup poll shows that nearly 80% of us think senators and House members should return anywhere from 5 to 25% of their pay as a mea culpa for walking us off the sequester cliff.
That is a great grassroots idea,
Or
and
they-
that is
they
very simple to just do that. It's all about publicity.
Yeah.
It's all about outing these guys. You
Right, outing them.
You get 5 of them to do it. You
Right.
get 5. The dominoes will fall, and they will all.
They'll
do
have
it.
to.
Yeah,
They
have
will
to.
have to.
Yeah. So I hope somebody steps up. The other alternative is for them to give it to charity. None of this will probably happen, but it's just another reminder of how disgusted most of us are with both houses of Congress. Now, over the weekend in Lebanon, Tennessee, a 4-year-old accidentally shot and killed the wife of a sheriff's deputy during a family gathering. It was the deputy's personal weapon. The mother of the mentally ill young man who massacred 20 children and 6 educators in Newtown, Connecticut, found disturbing, violent drawings in his room in the weeks before that tragic event, but neither she nor the friend she told about these drawings told anyone else. The friend says Adam Lanza's mother wanted to think about the best way to approach her son about those pictures.
If you were in that situation, would you have done anything about violent drawings? I'm not sure I would.
I would.
It's hard to say.
It is hard to
And
say
I bet
without
it's-
being in that situation.
And I bet it's not the first time.
One of the
I bet it's not
drawings
the
was
first time.
blood splattering from a mother holding a baby.
Then maybe.
You would have.
I guess.
Absolutely.
What would you do, Spiegel?
Gotta remember, not on 98 Rock.
Yeah.
What would I do? I would report my
Goddamn
child.
right you're not on 98 Rock.
Yeah. I would report my child immediately and have him hauled off to... You don't even need the drawings. You just look at Adam Lanza's eyes. Have you seen any pictures of him? Those eyes popping out? The kid was nuts.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
You could see he's nuts just from his pictures.
That's why I brought you down here. That's the kind of insight I wanted.
That's right. We're keeping you for a couple
Thank
days.
you. Haul him away to jail, Spiegel.
Thank you.
Finally, we had our choice of kickers today, but we chose 2 from the suburbs of Detroit. In one, a man allegedly stuffed his ex-girlfriend into a Christmas tree bag.
Oh, dear.
And threatened to harm her and himself himself. Now, he never got around to hurting anyone because the woman got free and hit him over the head with a porcelain chicken. In another northern suburb of Detroit, a heavy-set 60-year-old woman tried to rob a bank claiming she had a bomb in her cloth bag. It was not a bomb. A bomb squad x-ray revealed it was 2 cans of marinara sauce. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Wow. Hey, Spiegel, anything to promote, anything to plug?
Yes, please.
All right, go right ahead, sir.
98online.com, Mickey Emilian Spiegel. JoshSpiegel.com.
Very good.
Twitter, @Josh Spiegel.
Cher is not dead.
Facebook, Josh Spiegel.
And that's EI, correct?
SPIE.
Oh, IE.
Well done, Mike.
I always get that wrong.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much for coming down from 98 Rock. Our best to everybody up there.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody.
Nice
here.
to meet you.
Nice
Josh.
meeting you.
Good to see
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. It was a pleasure. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you very much.
Was.
And we are brought to you by Encore Insurance, and we'll be back again with another show tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.